Well, good evening, everyone. And today we'll be discussing a topic related to augmented qualities and features. So last week we discussed about augmented realities and virtual reality, and it was an introduction PPT which I explained you last week. So today we'll be starting with the particular topic that is related to augmented reality, and we'll be discussing the qualities and the features which this particular technology of augmented reality provides. So let's go. So introduction part. So as we talked about augmented reality last week, so let's begin this presentation with the part related to introduction only. So augmented reality is an interactive experience that enhances the real world into computer generated perceptual information. So we talked about augmented reality last week, where I said that it is like an interact. It provides an interactive experience to a user to an imaginary world with the help of the real world access. In simple word, we can understand augmented reality in these terms. And the difference between virtual reality and augmented reality is that in virtual reality, the entire environment is virtually created. But in augmented reality, it is a mixture of the real world as well as the augmented world. That is, it is a mixture of the real thing as well as with a mixture of man-made objects and artificial objects. So artificial objects are like it is like a particular chair is being drafted from a particular blending model like blender or somewhere else, and it is being put into a real world environment. So this is exactly how augmented reality means. So now, what are the key qualities of augmented reality? So interactive. Augmented reality allow real-time interaction with the digital element. So this is one of the key feature which augmented reality is providing. That is interaction with the digital elements. So many of us might have used various augmented reality applications using a phone as well. In last week, I mentioned an example that was related to a game that was Pokemon Go, and many of the users might have played that particular game as well, where we had to switch on a camera and we are given an assigned a map where we have to move around and catch the Pokemons. So this is where exactly interaction between the real-time objects and the man-made object is done. 3D visualization is enhancing user experience with three-dimensional objects. Uh, like if you have a Samsung phone, so it provides a feature that is AR models, where there is a separate model of a particular man, insect, or whatever object. There are certain kinds of objects, and by the help of those objects, you can see the 3D view of of how exactly that particular object looks like. So this particular thing is created by the help of augmented reality. Second one is context awareness that provides relevant information based on the user's environment. So augmented reality it provides the relevant information. That is the information which is being provided by augmented reality is truth. That is because augmented reality is meant for a particular platform where exactly the correct information is being transformed and it is being shown to the user. And the third and the fourth one is the immersive experience that is blends digital and physical world seamlessly. Again, in the definition part as well, I covered that it creates an environment where the real time objects and the man-made objects both are merged together. So this is exactly what is being um, what this particular line is trying to explain to us. So now this is a quote that the CEO of Google, Sundar Pichai, said on May 19, 2024 in the Google I/O event that was happened in the New York. That is looking to the future. The next big step will be for the very concept of device to fade away. So this particular statement was given by Sundar Pichai related to the terms when he was asked a question related to augmented reality and virtual reality. So even nowadays, these particular technologies are trending, and in future, these particular technologies will be providing a high amount of money as well. So everyone must try to learn these type of technologies as well. So essential features of augmented reality, that is object recognition, identifies and tracks of physical objects. Second one is motion tracking. uses sensors to track the user's movement. Third one is environmental understanding, that is map the physical space for accurate placement of virtual objects. And real-time feedback, that is provides immediate interaction and response. So object recognition means that by the help of augmented reality, we can recognize a particular object. For example, you might have used a device that is available in the phone, that is Google Lens. So in Google Lens, we have to just click a photo, and on the basis of the photo, we'll be getting all the particular information related to that object. So this is exactly what how augmented reality uses this particular technology. The second one is the motion tracking. Motion tracking means augmented reality uses certain kinds of sensors which enables the user to use this particular technology even when he or she is moving around in or sitting or whatever type of activity he or she is performing. Motion tracking system is very essential for these kinds of tracking system. The third one is the projection based AR. Sorry, that is a type. Sorry. Environmental understanding, that is maps the physical space to the accurate placement of virtual objects. So, environmental understanding it means by the help of augmented reality, physical spaces and accurate virtual objects can be easily understood. Like I talked about the Pokemon Go game, where there was a map, and on the basis of that map, the particular user has to roam around and catch the Pokemons. And this particular process of catching the Pokemon on the assigned map is done by the help of environmental understanding only. And the fourth one is the real-time feedback, that is provides intermediate interaction and response. That is in that particular game which I mentioned previously, that was the Pokemon Go game. The interaction between the user and the person who was making it is very common, because all the information related to the motion of that object or the man is being recorded and is being displayed in the real time. So this is how real time feedback is being done by the help of augmented reality. So types of augmented reality technologies. So marker based AR, that is uses visual markers like QR code to trigger content. Projection based AR, that is project digital light onto physical surface. A markless AR relies on GPS camera and other sensors for content placement, and superimposition based AR, that is replaces the original view with an augmented. So marker based AR is like many of us might have used QRs for paying certain type of money or scanning some or the other games to join a particular event or seminar, whatever thing may be. So how exactly this particular AR the QR works like? So the concept of QR was originated by the help of augmented reality only. That is, it provides a touchless and a seamless kind of service which takes only a fraction of second to execute. This technology was is very common and used nowadays, because it not only saves our time but also provides a good quality of understanding and money related to this thing. And this is why this particular feature of QR is being used in several kind of payment options and payment apps as well. Second one is the projection based AR. Projection based AR is like we might have heard about projectors and we have seen them also. By the help of projectors, ARs are being augmented reality is being used to project physical surfaces. This particular thing is being used in special events where a large amount of particular event or a picture is being shown to a large amount of crowd as well. Markless AR relies on GPS camera. Like this particular AR is being used in that particular game of Pokemon Go, where the GPS tracking system and the camera is being used to track the different Pokemons that are hiding in particular places. And superimposition based AR, that is replaces the original view with the augmented view. That is, suppose you are constructing a home, but you want to see how exactly your home will look like when it will get constructed. So this particular superimposition based layer creates a 3D model of the home which you or the home which you will be trying to create in the future by the help of the information that you will be transferring to it. Applications of AR in various fields, that is education, interaction, learning experience, and virtual labs, healthcare, surgical simulation, patient care management, retail, that is virtual try-ons, in-store navigations, environment like gaming, immersive storytelling, real estates like virtual property tools. So these are some of the common applications where augmented reality is being used, not nowadays. So, what are the benefits of augmented reality? Enhanced learning, like makes education more engaging and effective, improved efficiency, like streamline complex tasks in various industries, better customer experience, offers interactive and personal experience, and increased engagement that captivates user with immersive content. So these benefits are being very commonly used during the interview time also, that why exactly people are trying to move on to augmented reality, and what is the importance as well. So these 4 points are very important for interview process as well. Challenges and limitations. So technical concern like high hardware and software requirements is being used in augmented reality. Privacy concern is another thing, that is potential for data misuse and security issues. User adaptation requires user to be comfortable with new technologies, and cost. Development and implementation will be very costly. So these are the 4 points that are related to the challenges and the limitation that could be imposed on augmented reality, so that this particular technology has to overcome these challenges so that it can flourish in the market as well. So what is the future of augmented reality? So technological advancement, and improvement in hardware and software, wider adoption like increased use of in various sectors, integration with AI like enhanced captivate captivability and artificial intelligence. Second one is new application like innovation in AR users case. Summary. So we'll not do the summary of what exactly we covered in this particular PPT. That is, recap is from augmented reality qualities, features, and application. We talked about it. Potential is like augmented reality is transforming how we interact with the world. Final thought process related to augmented reality is emphasizing the importance and staying updated with the AR advancement, which is very common and very important when we are using augmented reality. So now let's move on to the interview question that we could encounter. So basic understanding part, these are the questions that are most commonly being asked related to basic understanding of augmented reality. That is, what is augmented reality and how does it differ from virtual reality? The second one is, can you describe the key qualities that makes AR technologies unique? The third one is, what are the essential features of augmented reality technology? Now, the second part is related to the application and the benefits that I talked about in it in the previous slides as well. The first question related to that would be, what are some common applications of AR in healthcare industries? How is AR being used to enhance the customer experience in retail? And in what ways can AR improve efficiency in industrial tasks? So these 6 questions are one of the most important questions related to augmented reality. Well, that was all from my side. If you have any question, then you can ask me.
So yes, which language is used for AR and VR development?
So, related to the language part, C sharp is actually being commonly used in this particular thing, because for blending part, you can use Unity like Blender also to make the 3D models. And related to that movement and motion related to all those models, we can use C sharp, and Java even we can use, because these two languages provides certain kinds of libraries which makes it very useful to use these languages.
Okay. And one another question, like we use together VR and AR or in a different way?
It actually depends on the requirement of the user. We can use augmented reality alone also, and virtual reality alone. And even recently, Apple launched a headset. So it is having both virtual reality and augmented reality combined in that particular device. Like if a user wants to use AR for a particular time, then he can switch to that mode. For VR for a particular time, then he can switch that. and otherwise both modes are also available. So this particular usage part related to both of these technologies depends on the user's requirement.
If like I wanted to develop an application like Google Maps, and in that Google Maps, like a street view. So how we can access like map thing in AR and VR?
So related to map things, you will first use the GPS technology, and second one will be like you might have used about that 360 feature in Google Maps. So this particular feature is actually using the pictures. It is not the real time video or the real time content that is being feeded on that particular app. There are multiple images that are being combined there, and on the basis of those images, we try to see the 360 view of that particular place. So if you want to you implement augmented reality and virtual reality both, you can use them, but the most important, the common thing that we'll use in this particular thing related to Google Maps would be augmented reality, because their interaction with the real time entity is also required, because that will exactly show the exact location. So in that, augmented reality is, I think.
So we can say that street view is like a AR and VR.
Yeah, yeah. No, street view is not like AR and VR. It is related to augmented reality only. Virtual reality means like if the entire virtual environment is created. But in this particular thing, like the tracking system which we are using in Google Map, it there we are using this VR technology. But in that particular part where I talked about that 360 part. So where there we are using augmented reality part only. There we are not using VR part.
Can we develop an app for the students, like less from the for the students for 5 to 10 class, like how to explain the planetary system using virtual reality concept?
Yeah, definitely we can make that particular app as well. And even you might have you if you are having that Google headset or via that Geo headset, there's a feature related to the education part as well, where there are certain kinds of models that are available in that particular device only. And even there is a app related to that Google headset and that Geo headset. So when you will switch on that app, it will provide you certain models. Like I think there is a model of Earth, and there's are certain historical monuments. So definitely there we can use this particular AI for education purpose. Like recently, there was a problem statement which I saw that came in the SIH 2023 hackathon related to Smart India. So in that particular thing, the problem statement was like we have to create an app where students can interact with the real time objects in with the help of animated characters, that was Chacha Nehru and Sabu. So in that particular problem statement, we were supposed to use AR and VR technology both, and we had to create a type of a system where the student can use and switch different historical monuments. Like if a student wants to visit a Taj Mahal, then he can click that particular model, and a 360 view of the animated view of that particular Taj Mahal will be created. And there will be a guide related that would be an animated character of Chacha Nehru or Sabu, that will be helping the students to know about the historical background of that particular monument. So definitely this particular question which you asked about that we can create app, definitely we can create that.
Like hologram and virtual or augmented reality, what's the difference basically in hologram technique or in this?
See, hologram technique is like it is a projection based AR. In the types of AR, I meant there was a type that was saying projection imposed AR. So in hologram type of augmented reality, we were trying to create. There was a screen, and on that particular screen, we were only trying to display that particular object by the help of a projector. But related to that hologram part, we cannot see the 360 view of an object. and we can't even experience that in the real time process. But in augmented reality, we'll be getting a real time experience related to that, because there will be a headset which will be making us feel like we are currently standing in that particular location. But in hologram part type, it will be a projection based, and with there is no requirement of headset even. So only naked eyes are required for that particular projection to be seen. So even the experience which the user will be getting is will be not very satisfying for the user as well. So this exactly is the difference between hologram and AR.
Like you say in your presentation, like 3D modeling is used. So I think that I don't study the hologram technique, but I visualize that maybe a 3D modeling technique is used in the hologram also.
Yeah, definitely. See, in augmented reality and hologram technique, both a 3D model is to be created. But the difference which I mentioned was that in a 3D model type, sorry, in augmented reality, the 3D model was made in a sense that if a person wants to the 360 view of that particular object, then by the AR headset, he can even see the different organs. Like suppose there is a uh, cricket stadium view that a user is making, and if he or she wants to see how exactly the pavilion will be looking like, how exactly the dressing room will be looking like, then he can click on that particular tab related to the dressing room, and he can see the interior view of that. And it will provide the user an experience like he or she is using or standing in that particular stadium or the dressing room, which will be very useful if you are trying to construct a stadium or a particular building before its actual map is being designed, because by that process you can understand the essential things and the things that are being required to make that particular building or the property better. But in hologram type, the user can't get that access of real time access. So it can all the user can only project the 3D model of that, and by the help of the mouse, the person has to rotate the mouse pointer so that he can or she can get the 360 view. But the essential things like what exactly, like in projection based, there is a problem related to the color. Like so there are certain projection or projectors in which the color issue is there, that is they don't project the actual color. Like if you are trying to project a pink color, it will appear like a light pink or a purple type of color over there, so it won't give the exact view as well. So that's why a hologram technique, I think the 3D model is being used in both, but implementation part of 3D model is typical in augmented reality only, and not in that hologram technique.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I think start my presentation now.
Yeah.
I think my screen is visible to all and I am audible to. My screen is visible or not?
Yeah, it is visible.
Okay. So in my previous presentation, I complete the Git part, and today I move to the GitHub portion. Like onwards, I cover only GitHub and the concepts related or the features related to the GitHub. So today, what I take that is GitHub and repositories and its remote repository. So basically, whatever we done in the Git portion in the local machine, the same things, all the same features which we explore in the Git portion, that same features we explore in the GitHub portion. That is the remote repository part. And when we go to the Git, that is the local repository, or we call it as local device, local machine. But this time when you done the things in GitHub, that is the repository. We covered the basics of Git, like Git, what is Git. We covered mainly the portion of Git. With the help of that, I can explain the GitHub portion. What is Git? Basically, Git is a distributed version control system, and the second one, what is GitHub? So basically, GitHub is a repository hosting service. So if you want to host something, like if you want to host your website, then you take the help of GitHub. If you want to host something, like if you want to host your commits, like whatever the folder your project you have which you have created, which then you use the GitHub portion, like the name itself, GitHub repository hosting service. So in my previous presentation, I was talking about the source tree, and in my previous and Bitbucket. Okay. So what is source tree and Bitbucket? Source tree and Bitbucket is like Bitbucket is also a platform that provides the hosting, and with the help of that, we can store our repositories in the public machines, like public servers, not in the your local machine. So that if I deleted the file in from my, like I reset my laptop, then these files are remaining in the repository part, in the remote repository part, and with the help of that, we I can download it and I can just use it. So I was talking about that Bitbucket. Bitbucket is also a hosting service like GitHub. And the second one, GitLab. It is an application of Git. Like if you store something that is stored in a cloud database, so we called it as GitHub. Also, Git is also stored in that database, but sometimes it differs. Okay. So here I explain what is Git. If you have asked a simple question, what is Git? You simply say that it is a distributed version control. What is GitHub? Actually, GitHub uses the basic commands of Git, but not in the command line form, but in the GUI form. Like I explain all the concepts with the help of command line and through presentation. So if like I want to use GitHub, the same implementation, the same merging, the same commits, the same objects will be there, because the software is same, the basic entities is same. But what is the different part? The different part is that in the GitHub, you have to there is a GUI providation. With the help of GUI, you can access like commits and many other things. If you see there, I in next presentation, sorry, in next slide, make your GitHub account. If you don't continue with the Git series, which I have covered in the 8 lectures, like 8 sessions. So if you don't continue there, uh, try to continue with this portion. Make your account on GitHub and explore features of GitHub. I will cover a single every step that is needed you for making a GitHub, and try to work with GitHub. Like I covered basics, but if you can't cover it, try to cover it. But sometimes if you not cover it, then go with proceeding like what I have covered today, because today is important. Previous is the time is gone. Okay, so just continue from there. Make so what
So where do you have to so where do we have to create the account?
what I can't understand where you have to create.
Yes, yes.
Firstly, open, like I explain through GUI. I explain in continuation. You can continue with this with that part. Okay. If you are
Okay,
still on some part, then ask me immediately. Like I have not accessed this part and you have accessed this. Okay.
okay.